Hello and welcome to this training session, the first of several training sessions designed to train you, commercial dealers, how to sell Viasat Business to your commercial customers. My name is Eric Stark. I'm the National Director of Sales. I have a team of folks who are here to help you. But first, in these 12 slides, we will talk about how you can sell Viasat to your commercial customers. I could name this presentation one simple question, because if you start asking your customers this one simple question, you will get more sales. We know that commercial dealers out there in the marketplace today are selling lots and lots of DirecTV satellite service to business customers of all types. So when you do that, have you asked them about what they're doing for internet? With this one simple question, does your business have reliable broadband service today? If you ask that one question, you will start selling more. So the bulk of this presentation is going to talk about our Viasat business plans, help you understand how to use them, how to sell them, how to explain them to your customers. Let's dive right in and see what those plans look like. All right. To start, we've been selling business in the marketplace since 2015. And since the end of 2017, we've been offering unlimited plans. Our most popular plan right now is a 35x4 unlimited plan, and it is available to 96% of the United States population. So think about that. Broadband speeds are available to 96% of the U.S. population. Where are the businesses? The businesses are in that geographic territory, and you can start selling them to business customers today. And they're not the only plans we have. We have unlimited plans, we have metered plans, we have higher speed plans at 60 megs and 100 megs. You'll see it all in the slides ahead. But let's talk a little bit about how these plans work and how you will need to be able to understand them in order to sell them. All right. All of the Viasat business plans include a number of things, and they're all important. Let's talk about each one of them real quickly. Priority connection. You know, satellite service is a best effort service, and what that means is when the network is congested, the service can be slow for everybody else. I think all of you out there in the satellite dealer world understand how this works. Well, our business plans, our Viasat business plans, have a higher level of priority than our residential plans. And so even when you have a area that may be very busy in the evening with residential customers, your business customers will have priority ahead of those residential customers. That's very important. Second, IP addressing, persistent IP addressing. Do you know what that even is? Some of you might, some of you might not. Oftentimes, business customers will ask for static IP. All that means is the IP address that they get assigned is fixed, it's permanent, it doesn't change. We like to say that it's public, it's routable, and it doesn't change. That's what a static IP is. We don't technically offer static IPs, but what we do offer is something called persistent IPs, and those persistent IPs are public, routable, and they don't change, so they are functionally static. Most companies charge for IP addresses. We do not. We offer them free of charge, and that's going to be an important differentiator for you as you're selling our service to business customers. Our equipment lease for the hardware, for the modem, for the TRIA, for the transmitter, that's all included in our price. You know this. Your satellite dealers, you know this, that there are a number of satellite companies out there, and sometimes they'll charge a little extra for a modem, they'll charge a little extra for the hardware. Everything is included in one price for us. We have business class support. We have, based in the U.S., support 7 days a week for customer issues, whether they be pre-install or post-install. That's a differentiator. Some of these business care support areas that you'll see for other companies are offshore, and we have all of our business care support for folks in the United States, in Texas. And last, and this is important too, we're available nationwide. If you're familiar with how our residential service works, you know, maybe some of you are residential dealers, you know that sometimes when beams get full, we close down beams. Well, we haven't closed any business beams yet. And so when I tell you at the beginning of this presentation that we're available to 96% of the U.S. population, that's available with broadband to 96% of the U.S. population. Actually, we have other plans that extend even beyond that. And so really, when you look at where we are available, we're available in all 48 states. We're available in all of Hawaii, and we're available to most of Alaska. In fact, the only place where we don't have some kind of plan available is in the forests of Alaska. Let's look at what these plans look like. I'm going to spend most of my time on this slide. This is our unlimited slide, concentrating on the 35x4 plan. Why? Because that 35x4 plan is our most popular plan. Something like 60% of what we sell is that 35x4 plan. Well, let's talk about how this works. Unlimited. What does unlimited mean? Well, unlimited means different things, and it's one of those funny words that means something different in the marketplace that we work. But you all know what it means. Unlimited means you get a unlimited amount of data up to a certain point, and then afterwards, typically, what that means is your service will be throttled. Well, at least that's the way the wireless providers do it. We do it a little bit different. It's important to understand how we do it. Two very important points that your customers will want to know about. Number one, we provide a much more generous amount of data with our unlimited plans. Think about how much you get right now from your wireless provider and how much data you get on your unlimited plan. Maybe it's 20 gigs, maybe it's 25 gigs, maybe it's 30 gigs. We offer 75 gigs on that 35x4 unlimited plan, and even more than that on our 60 and 100 unlimited plans. But 75 gigs, why do we provide 75 gigs of data? Well, we've learned that 80% of our customers, our business customers, never use more than 75 gigs. And so that is a good threshold, a good benchmark that we can go to most business customers, 80% of our business customers, and tell them, look, you may not be even using this much data. At least 80% of our customers don't. So that's important to know. That's number one. But number two, once you reach that threshold, once your customer reaches that threshold, that doesn't mean we're automatically going to slow them down and throttle their service. No, what we say is that we may deprioritize your service if you pass that threshold. So what does that mean? Remember how I told you that on the previous slide that we prioritize our business customers ahead of our residential customers? Well, if your customer has reached their data threshold, and if your customer is using the service at a busy, congested time, then we may deprioritize your business customer, and they may experience slower speeds. Look, if you hit your threshold, will you see slower speeds? Probably, but we do it a little bit different, and we are much more generous in the way we give out our data. And I would challenge you to compare this unlimited plan to the unlimited plans that you pay for in your own business or anything else that's out there in the marketplace, and you'll see what we have is much more generous. So that's our 35x4 plan, and you can see the details on 60x100. I bet most of what you're going to be selling is 35x4 unlimited. But before we look at the metered plans, one last thing on our 35x4 plan. What we're seeing increasingly is that customers are coming to us because they are paying a high amount of overage fees from their 4G providers, and they're coming to our unlimited plan because it's so much more generous. And you will see that too as you're selling to your commercial customers in the marketplace. So that's our unlimited plans. Let's look at our metered plans now. We've got 5, and those 5 are really targeted at 3 different customer types. We have a 1 gig and a 10 gig plan. Really, those are targeted more for customers who want to have a service for redundancy or backup. Now, we have a whole nother training session that's focused on that. Listen to that presentation to learn how to sell that. Then you have our 20 gig and our 50 gig plan. And you know, it's interesting. A lot of your fellow satellite dealers are selling that 20 gig plan. And I think it's because they feel a price pressure, or maybe They don't feel comfortable selling the unlimited plan, but really that 20 gig plan, that 50 gig plan, those are for customers who really understand how much data they use, and maybe they don't need the full 75 gigs that we provide with our unlimited plan. But those are really for customers who are a little bit more sensitive on price. Finally, we have this 200 gig plan. You may be asking yourself, why do they have a 200 gig plan if they already have an unlimited plan? Well, remember what I told you. That unlimited plan, if you reach that threshold, you could see slower speeds if your customer is using the service during times of congestion. So this 200 gig plan, this high usage plan, is really for the types of customers that either know they're going to be using lots and lots of data, and typically in the evening times, or customers who under no circumstances want to even be under any kind of hint of maybe being slowed down. So if you have those two types of customers, then this is the plan for them. So what kind of customer types are those? Think about the customers in like the hospitality industry, or customers who use the service like an RV park or a campground where nobody's there during the day, but in the evenings they look very much like a residential customer and are streaming video. The unlimited plan is not for them. This is the best metered plan for them because it's most generous, gives away 200 gigs of data right off the bat, and then $2 a gig. Very, very competitive plan. All right, so those are our metered plans. And last, remember I said our broadband services, which has been the last two slides, our broadband services reach 96% of the U.S. population. What about all the rest? Well, some of you may be familiar with our satellites that have been up in orbit and how we had a large part of the country that was covered by some of our legacy satellites delivering service at speeds of 5x1. Well, these areas have all been upgraded. At the end of 2018, we upgraded the 5x1 areas to 12x3, and now you have these plans available. So, as I said before, 96% of the U.S. population gets broadband. Almost all of the rest gets high-speed internet at 12x3, and only in certain places in Alaska do we have no coverage at all. So you can sell to your business customers anywhere you go. And who are those business customers? Let's look at this next slide, and what you'll see is 4 pictures that really represent the types of customers that we see dealers like you selling to most frequently. Starting in the upper left-hand corner and going clockwise, we have the small office environment. Now, this is an office that looks like a bunch of people on computers working away on something, but there's all kinds of small offices, whether they be small offices from home or small dental and doctor's offices. Small offices do great for us. Second, you see the guy on the phone in front of the laptop in the hardware store. Behind him is probably a point-of-sale machine. Any kind of retail or restaurant where it's important that they have internet connectivity to collect payment, that's a good opportunity. And I think that there are a number of your customers in both of those two categories: small office, where there's a public viewing area, or in restaurants, maybe even retail, where there are TVs that you've installed and you've provided satellite TV to those customers. They are the perfect customer to ask, hey, what are you doing for your internet? Do you have reliable broadband? You will get more sales just by asking that question. And then the last two, we put these in the presentation because maybe there's some of you who are talking to these customers as well. Agribusiness, whether you're talking about livestock or produce, that is a big part of our customer base. Customers who are out in rural areas and don't have good internet, they do with Viasat. And then similarly, customers who are in heavily urban areas, whether they be in ports or near railways or in construction sites, those are customers who are buying our service as well. And so you have now a number of different types of business verticals that you can target to sell more service. And on the right-hand side there, what you see is the types of business applications that our business customers, your commercial customers, will want to use. Cloud-based collaboration, voice over IP. You get a lot of questions about, can you do voice over satellite? Well, yes, you can, and we do it all the time. Voice, email, point of sale, these are the types of business applications that we see day in and day out that commercial customers come to us and use our internet service so they can do these things. All right, let's summarize. With Viasat Business, now you have more opportunities than you ever had before to sell customers and earn money doing it. I've already said we can provide broadband service to 96% of the U.S. population and high-speed internet elsewhere. You're going to see another training session where we talk about how Viasat is an excellent solution for backup and redundancy. And of course, when you're selling TV already and you ask that one question, all of a sudden you have a new installation, which is an additional revenue opportunity for you. I mean, think about it. You're already installing multiple TVs and a dish on the roof somewhere. Why not ask the question and see if you can get an additional sale while your installer is already out there doing the work? All right, so now that you know how to sell Viasat Business to your commercial customers, we've got some materials here to help you do it. We've got, I think some of you are familiar with this. Maybe most of you are familiar with the Viasat Business Sales and Marketing Center, ViasatRetailerSupport.com, and there's a section, the business ad section, that has more tools that you can use and share with your commercial customers, our brochures, our pricing plans, and different types of advertising templates that you can customize with your retailer name to distribute with your customers. We want you to be successful. And of course, it doesn't finish with just a website. If you look at this last slide, this is my team. Dina Mead is responsible for managing channel sales in the West, and you can see her team there. Graham Scott is responsible for managing channel sales in the East, and you can see his team there. We are here to help you. We work with your distributors on a daily basis, and we want to talk with you. So if there's anything we can do to help, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. That's it for today's webinar. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to working with you in the months and years ahead.